Thank you for choosing Dr.Web products. In this video we will show you how to configure Dr.Web Firewall included into the Pro series. Firewall traces all network connections and protects your computer from unauthorized access and prevents leak of important data through networks. On the screen we can see that after the installation and first restart of the computer, Firewall displays warning about the connections that have been blocked before we logged into the system. Here we can view the applications that try to connect to the network. This notification automatically hides after a timeout. Firewall functions in the administrative mode, so Windows User Account Control System warns us about that. In the list we view detailed information about the applications and the connection they attempted to establish. If we trust an application, then we can create a rule to apply to the future connections of this application. To do this, click Create Rule. Firewall provides 4 predefined application rules that should give enough choice for the normal work. For the application, we can allow or block network connections on the specified port, or block or allow all network connections. The first 2 rules will not be applied when the application attempts to connect via different ports. This means that after authorizing trusted network connections, we can still trace other connections that can be suspicious. We recommend creating rules of these 2 types. If we need to double-check the connection information, we can view it on the top of the window. In the same way, you can apply rules to all connections that have been blocked by Firewall before you log in. Now we can start using the network. After installation, Firewall operates in interactive mode. That is, when it detects a new unknown connection, Firewall provides you with full control over the reaction. This way you can train the program like we are going to do now. We can see that Messenger has tried to start Internet Explorer, which we use as a default browser. This is a new network connection for Firewall, therefore it prompts you to select a solution. We have a choice to create a rule again, or temporarily, for this time only, allow or block this connection. On the top of the window, we can see the port and address that Internet Explorer is using for connection. When we allow the connection temporarily, Firewall doesn't create a rule and only allows the browser the current connection. We have just allowed Internet Explorer to connect to a specific address on a specific port. Usually, applications don't use the single port to connect. They can also use the same port to connect to different addresses, as we see here. That is why we should better create a rule allowing the browser to use standard connection ports. For instance, now we'll allow connection via 80 port used for HTTP. Select to create a rule for connection on port 80. Since the browser was launched automatically by the Messenger, at the bottom of the window, we can see that Firewall suggests creating the rule for the similar situations. That is, at the top of the window we have chosen how to process browser connections, while here at the bottom we can specify the reaction to attempts of other applications to launch network processes such as running Internet Explorer. We can allow the Messenger to launch network processes or to block them. If we choose to block launching option, then we won't be able to click the links in the messages and automatically load web pages. On one hand, it can increase the protection. On the other hand, however, it complicates the work, so for now we allow the Messenger to start Internet Explorer. Now the browser attempts to connect on port 443, which is a standard port for the HTTPS protocol, which is the extension of HTTP protocol with encryption. This port is also standard, so we create the rule for it. Let's visit the website. Now Firewall doesn't ask for approval of every new connection on ports 80 and 443. Let's sign in to the messenger. Since we have set the rules for Internet Explorer only, Firewall wants us that Messenger attempt a network connection. Because we just started it and know that it needs a network connection, we want to create a rule. Messenger also attempts to connect on the unknown port, but we see the presence of digital signature, which means we can trust it. Here we can see the information about digital signature and connection. We create another rule for the messenger. If you don't know the standard port numbers, but you completely trust the application, you can allow all network connections for it, but we don't recommend doing that. While chatting in Messenger, we can receive some links, as we see now. Since we have allowed the messenger to start network processes, we can click the link from the chat window. To protect us from accidental clicking on links received from unknown people or even unwanted links from our friends, we can forbid the messenger to start any network process, including launch of Internet Explorer. To do that, we need to open Firewall settings. By default, antivirus operates in user mode and firewall settings are hidden. We need to switch to administrative mode, for which we may need to type in the administrator's passwords. In the list of applications, we see the rules for network connections. This rule for the messenger regulates its network connection only. But for now, we need another rule that defines if messenger can start new network processes. So we move to the list of parent processes, where we locate the rule for the messenger and forbid the application from launching other network processes. As you see, Internet Explorer has launched, but website hasn't opened, which we wanted to achieve. Now Firewall will block all attempts to open Internet Explorer from the messenger automatically. I can't click the links in chat messages, but I won't be linked to phishing web pages. We have set the rules only for Internet Explorer, but other browsers are often used. Let's try using Firefox. Let's also create the rule for it. Now we'll try to update the browser. Now we'll create the rule for port 443. We can see that updates are available, so we try installing them.